Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Hello, folks. Welcome to About the House. This is your audio university of everything about your home. It is from construction to maintenance to real estate to even investing. We actually, every week, we specifically find a subject or a trade that we to highlight, and that way you can go back to our Forever Library and check us out, and because we just get so much content in one here that you can't catch it all. So going to our Forever Library through the podcast is a great way. The Answer has done a beautiful job of taking care of us, and Joey, our producer, God bless him. We couldn't do this show without him. I just got to sing praises all the time about this young man. This is Troy Galloway. I am your humble host of About the House. I am the owner of Galloway Building Services. Just like this show, we're one of a kind. There isn't another company in the Midwest that provides the services that we do. We're a construction consulting company. We do conflict resolution, expert witnessing. So if you got a project out there, you're just not for sure if it's being done right, or you just think somebody's ripping you off, you give us a call. We come in, help you out. We help both contractors and we help home buyers, homeowners. So we're here for everybody. And what we do, we also do residential and commercial building inspections. So if you are buying or selling a home, give us a call. We're there to help you out with that. Our motto is, we're here to make sure the job's being done right. You're not getting ripped off, and you're getting what you paid for. That's Galloway Building Services. Our phone number is 636-394-3112 and 314-520-6655. And you can check us out on Galloway Building Services Facebook page or GallowayBuildingServices.com, our webpage. Lots of fabulous information about the home, and you would really, I know everybody that gets on it really, truly enjoys it. Hey, before we move on here, I want to give a big old thanks to our premier sponsor, J&H Property, Real Estate Agent Brokers. They're large enough to handle all of your buying and selling needs, and yet still small enough to be sensitive to whatever needs or concerns that you have. You know, when you're buying and selling a home, it's pretty scary stuff. And sometimes the emotions get high, and it's really awesome to have somebody there. You know when you call that you got a friend. That phone number is 314-602-4835. That's 314-602-4835. Today, folks, I actually got something really special you're not going to hear on any other radio station out here. And my good friend here, Jason Licavoli, and he owns he's involved in several real estate investment clubs. He's going to explain to you about what a real estate investment club is, tell you how they work, and how to make a ton of money. But anyway, Jason, thank you for coming on board. Tell us a little about yourself, please.
Well, thank you so much, Troy. It's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate the opportunity, and what a great setup you guys have. This is awesome. This is legit. I'm used to hanging out in the corner somewhere with a headphones on, right? So Jason Licavoli is my name. Flipping STL is my company. We have two real estate investment clubs here in St. Louis. The first one started about a year and a half ago out in Jefferson County. I live in South County, right? St. Louis boy, born and raised. And so we have a Jefferson County Real Estate Investors Club. And then in January, we started one in the city. We had a lot of investors meeting out there in Imperial doing deals in South City, right? So we said, there's a demand. We got people already doing it. Let's start one. And had a couple hundred people at the first event. It's just been awesome since then. And so And to answer your question about Real Estate Investment Club, I've been in this business for 16 years, and I just think everybody knows what that means. Not a lot of people know what that means.
No, they sure don't.
And a lot of real estate investors use that vernacular that throws people off, and I'm sure you get that too, right? So you're talking to someone in your sphere of influence, and they speak the same language as you. At the Real Estate Investment Club meeting, we're talking LTV and ARV and subject to, and it just terms that people just don't know they have no reference to what that means. And so we try to break down some of the basics. We get high level with the guys that want to scale up their business, and we try to help in that area. But then people that are brand new, maybe you watch some HGTV and you thought, hey, that sounds fun. It looks cool. Or you hear, oh, man, everybody makes money in real estate investing. And so you want to come check it out. We try to provide value for all those people. So,
well, that's awesome. Yeah, I know that on HGTV, they make it look really easy, but it really isn't. I mean, you do need to have some knowledge, and that's kind of what you provide, isn't it? I mean,
absolutely.
For your club. I mean, I've been there a few times, and I've seen your guest speakers, and I walk away, and I've been doing investing in real estate for years. I still walk away learning something.
Absolutely. Especially when we get into the niche aspects of real estate investing. So I'm not a huge landlord, and I don't have Airbnbs yet right now, but that's that one subject. You could go on for weeks and weeks and weeks learning about this one subject. And so we just try to provide all the resources. So if you're a landlord, you're going to be able to connect with a bunch of landlords. If you're a flipper or rehabber, you're going to be able to connect with those people. If you're an agent, you can step in and get clientele. If you're a contractor or a vendor, like we provide a space for networking first and foremost, and then it's education. And then it's resources and tools. So it's kind of all-encompassing of all those things that people would need to either scale up or get started.
What's it take to become a real estate investor besides the courage?
I was going to say desire is the number one thing, right? And courage, of course, because it's scary if you're brand new. A lot of people, the HGTV, man, it ruins people, their expectations, right? In 30 minutes, we took this house from zero to hero. We made $100,000 and there was no hiccups and everything was wonderful. And you see that enough times, you're like, man, I want to do that. But real estate investing is not about going to Home Depot and picking out color swatches and stuff, right? Like you don't get that's not real estate investing. That's just a little piece of it. I tell you what, the best deal that most investors, the best deal you've ever done is the one you walked away from. And as we try to keep people from going into bad investments, losing their 401k, losing their IRA, so many people do that. It's a shame. So I look at it like I'm here to protect people from getting into those bad situations. I mean, you can run the scenario by me, and in 5 minutes I can tell you if that's a go or no go. And I'm just one guy. But with hundreds of people in the club, you have all the resources. And if you ask 10 people and 10 people said no, it's probably a no.
That's what I like about the Real Estate Investment Club is that you got lots of people to visit with. They're just like you and me. They're just like the folks out here listening today. And it's not big shots. They're just folks, and they want to help each other.
Absolutely,
yeah.
With an abundance mindset. Unfortunately, a lot of people view this industry, it's cutthroat, shark infested waters, and I try to attract people with abundant mindset who are there to give. And so if you're an expert, I've been doing this 16 years. I still don't claim to be an expert, but I'm around people who know more than me as much as I can. So I'm trying to be that guy for the person who's brand new. And then I try to bring the people who have that helpful, giving mindset with abundance, because it rubs off on everyone else. And I'm just a big goofy guy. So oh man, if that guy can do it, I know I can do it, right? I'm nobody special. I don't have a huge past with construction or real estate. I didn't come from a family of knowing that information. And I think the business is super simple. It's not easy, but it's really simple. And so if you have all the tools and the resources, you're going to probably be successful. So all I'm trying to do is provide that space and the connections that you would need. So,
well, what brought you into it? Was it only the money, or what? Which is only the money is all the reason we need.
Right.
What brought you into this business?
So I was working for a software company, and it was the tech market that bubble bursted, and we're supposed to go IPO, and I got all these stock options, and life was going to be great. And I thought, I was a sales guy in a high tech industry, and at the time I just got out of college and went to St. Louis University, and this is the path. This is what I'm going to do. And then one day I walked in and my Herman Miller chair is gone and my computer's gone. And it was like boiler room kind of situation where then they're like, yeah, we had to let go of some people. We didn't get the Sony contract and blah, blah, blah. Hitachi, that's what it was. And I'm like, I don't want to be living like this. So I went back to slinging pizza pies, and that's what I did to get through college. And A friend of mine introduced me to someone who was my first mentor, and I did one flip, and I said, this is it. This is for me. And so that was kind of the path I went down. So it was out of necessity, but I always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I always kind of was trying to do different things in my life, even at the lunchroom trying to negotiate a deal. I don't know. So entrepreneurial spirit was always there, and I just found my outlet. So.
That's awesome. Well, folks, we're getting ready to head for our first break of the day. Hey, jump on back in here after the flip side of our advertising. We're going to got a ton more information we're going to get for Pick Jason's brain. This is Troy Galloway, owner of Galloway Building Services, your premier inspection company, and we are here to answer any of your questions. And we're going to give you all the information that you can to reach back out to Jason's through his website and through our website, because we're going to promote him and everything that he's doing. Anyway, folks, thank you, and see you on the other side. Welcome back to About the House, folks. This is Troy Galloway, your humble host of Galloway Building Services, your premier construction consulting and inspection company. Before we move on here, I want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Rob Jackson of the Crack Crew. Check him out on our Facebook page, and we got all the information you need about him. Let's jump right in here and pester Jason here. He's got some great information. Jason, you just briefly touched the base with us on real estate investment clubs. Could you go into more detail what that means? I know I rushed you last time, so here, take your time and help folks out. Tell them not just what you do, but why you do it and why people want to jump in.
For sure. So real estate investment clubs, there's an acronym. It's called RIA. And so if you ever heard that, we're going to go to the RIA meeting tonight. A lot of people throw that around. I'm going to the RIA. What the hell is a RIA, So REIA stands for Real Estate Investor Association. So there's actually a nationwide association for people to have a club, and they limit you to how many clubs can be in any demographic, any population area. So in St. Louis, there's a couple clubs here that are part of the National Association. They didn't have any room for anybody else. So I am a RIA club, and it's the Real Estate Investors Alliance. So I kind of side-saddled their acronym, and a lot of other investment clubs do the same thing. So I have the City RIA, so it's City REIA, and that stands for Real Estate Investor Alliance. And then the other club I have out in Jefferson County is the Jeffco REI. We left off the A because we like to be a little different out in Jefferson County. But again, I've been doing this 16 years. So I started off going to real estate investment clubs, and I loved the environment. I loved the people I met. It was just fun. And I met people like, wow, this guy's making a ton of money, but making a difference in the community. Like, that's what got me, because, money's great. But, man, when you can make a difference in your own community. I was born and raised in St. Louis. I love this town. So if I could be part of a revitalization, if I could be part of making communities better, raising tax revenues, giving a place for a family to live, we go from really ugly houses most of the time to pretty houses. So we're not just flipping a house, we're flipping a life. We're flipping the community. We're flipping the reputation of St. Louis. At this point, in my career, I'm looking at the big picture. I've gone to other cities, and I see what other people are doing, and that's my new motivation. So, of course, you start off, you got to make money. And then my career is everything's BC. Before the crash.
Yeah, right.
So
me too.
And in 2008, you know what I mean. 2008, I lost everything, right? I never had to file bankruptcy, never got foreclosed. I worked my way through it, which was a terrible idea, by the way. Don't recommend that. I still own property that I bought in 2007. I think it finally is at the value that it was back then. So it's definitely been a rocky road and a roller coaster ride, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I got a few extra gray hairs from it, but that's to be expected. So,
you said that about holding some of your properties, and I think that this is, we all look at it just only on the sales end of it. But I know too that we also had some properties. So because we're a building company, but we also had some rental properties. Mm-hmm. But tell me, if you had the same experience? So what we did is we just had to hang on to it, so we turned it into rental property.
Absolutely.
And what happens out there, folks, is that when the price of the properties is not really great to make a ton of money, rents go up because of the supply and demand. So if it, honestly, if it hadn't have been for the extra rental income, it would have been a tough go for us. Is that kind of your experience too?
Oh, absolutely. And I was partnering with different people at the time. We had, construction crews. We had a whole construction company, on commercial front for the business. So, we were deep rooted. And we had 12 properties that by the end of 2008, they converted from being retail sale flips, to rental properties. Now, I'll tell you what the problem is. When you have a retail sale flip, you fix that house a little different than you would a rental property, and you're probably not in a rental property neighborhood. And I would be all over the place. I'd be in Florissant. I'd be in Festus. I'd be out in St. Charles. I'll buy wherever the deal is. I did some deals in Cahokia. Wherever an opportunity came. So I've kind of reeled back in that area. I wholesale a lot more stuff now. Do you know what I mean when I say wholesale?
Well, I do, but I think that'd be awesome to talk to people about wholesaling, because that's going to lead us to where opportunities can be had.
Yeah, absolutely. So wholesaling is the best way to get started in this business because it's low risk. You don't need money. You don't need credit. You don't need any of that. And actually, I can show somebody how with 2 pieces of paper, they can make $10,000, $20,000. Literally like this. And I always tell people, and when you come to a real estate investment club, there's a couple messages I always say. First and foremost, real estate investing is so easy. You just buy low and sell high. That's it. We can go home. We can go watch a Blues game now. Buy low, sell high. That's it. It is super simple, the concept, but it's not easy to execute all the pieces and to have all the pieces in place. So we leverage one another. So we kind of make it more easy than it would be. But there's exit strategies. So the way I look at it is the opportunity presents itself, and then you determine the best way to exit that deal. So sometimes the wholesale is the right strategy. Sometimes selling to a landlord or making it a rental property or an Airbnb or doing the rehab and flipping it and selling retail. So the exit strategy is determined by the deal. And a lot of people go like, oh, I'm looking for rental property. Well, then they miss out on all these other opportunities. Mm-hmm. So through the club mechanism, they'll know somebody like, oh, I don't flip houses, but I got 10 guys that do. So when a good flip opportunity comes up, I know who to go call. Or for instance, I don't do Airbnb, right? I'm actually looking at a couple properties now because it's such a cool concept, and I like to dabble. But I got friends that do Airbnb and they're experts in the area. So I know if I come across certain properties that they've taught me what to look for, if I come across that property, I don't wholesale it or flip it. I go to my Airbnb guy because that's the best exit strategy for that particular deal. So that's, again, the advantage of having the club and all those resources. I'm a one-trick pony, right? But now I have access to all these other people who do different things better than I ever could. And so I can leverage all of that. And there's money to be made. Every piece of this journey, there's money to be made for different people. So like for yourself, you do inspections, right? So if I have 200 people, we have about 200 people in these clubs. If 200 people started calling you for all your inspections, you're going to be busy, right? And that's my goal is like vendors and contractors come to these meetings, meet these people who are using your services. They're using somebody. Why not you? Why not build that relationship and build some trust? Maybe give some preferential treatment and pricing. Like I love to have that. Everybody in our club we're a $1 million account with Home Depot collectively. So you get to get the advantages, all the benefits of being a $1 million contractor with Home Depot just by being a part of our club.
Yeah, and before we get out of here, I hope that we have time to hit on the Home Depot thing because I think that's a pretty awesome concept. But let me ask you a real quick question because you said earlier about the other RIA clubs.
Yes.
Now, can one person go to other clubs? Can they join other clubs? Do the clubs help each other?
So in the past, no. But I have a very collaborative mindset. And so I approach some of my friends, and I know these guys. I've been going to their meetings for years, right? And so I'll just throw a couple names out there. So Brian Schroeder owns Faster House, which is in St. Charles. If you live in St. Charles or want to do deals in St. Charles, you might not have an advantage going to my Jefferson County Real Estate Investors Club. So I approached Brian, great guy, has a great culture that he's cultivated there, and he's just an amazing person. So I love him and I love what he does. And he's got 100 people at any meeting, maybe 150. So it's a huge following that he has. He just does it right. So I'm like, hey, if somebody's a member of my club, can they come to your meeting? And I'll open my club to any of your members. So it's just a collaborative effort. And so the Heartland RIA meets over in Westport Plaza. So again, that location is better for some people. They might be having a subject matter this month talking about landlords, and that's the subject you want to hear about. But in the city, we're not talking about that this month. So you might plug into his event because the subject to meet new people. And so we're taking a collaborative approach. So if you're a member of one of my real estate investment clubs, you can go to any of those other clubs. There's one over in Illinois. I mean, we got about 7 different, some of them are smaller, more meetups. There's 7 different opportunities to go network with people and to leverage all of their resources. It's a totally different concept for real estate investment clubs.
Yeah, that's awesome. And actually, the only reason we got into the rental market is because we just kind of fell into it. And they're paying for our property.
There you go.
And when I get ready to retire here in a couple of 2 or 3 years.
It's a great retirement income, right?
Or it's a great way of being able to sell them, get some.
Oh, gotcha.
But well, anyway, folks, we're getting ready to jump out of this segment here and head to an advertisement time. We really have enjoyed you being with us. I want you to come back a few moments later, I should say. And Jason's got a whole bunch more to share. We got a great show ahead of you. This is Troy Galloway with About the House, owner of Galloway Building Services, and we're looking forward to hearing you on the other side. Check us out on our Facebook page and our GallowayBuildingServices.com webpage. Thanks, folks. See you in a bit. Welcome back, folks, to About the House. Your humble host, Troy Galloway, owner of Galloway Building Services. We're your premier construction consulting and inspection company. And we are so fortunate to have Jason with us today, a real estate professional investor. And Jason, because this is something a lot of folks, I think, do not understand. And do you have to be an agent to actually do what you do? I mean, can anybody do this?
Absolutely not. Well, you asked 2 different questions.
Yeah. I'm bad about that.
No. But you definitely do not have to be a licensed agent. There's good and bad to both. I've been a licensed agent twice in my 16 years for different reasons. We won't go into that. But I'm currently not a licensed agent. And in my opinion, for what I do, it's easier for me to not be a real estate agent. And the reason why I let my license go, I love to get commissions, right? And I leverage real estate agents. I love real estate agents. They're the backbone of this business, and they work hard. I don't want to work that hard. That's not fun for me. I'm just not the right person for that job. You have to be very organized. I'm not organized, right? I'm a dreamer. I'm not an implementer. So, but I've been licensed, and as an investor, when you walk in to buy someone's home, and you say, oh, by the way, hold on, let me take my investor hat off and let me put my agent hat on and just have to disclose to you that I'm a real estate agent. I mean, that's like talking about religion or politics for some people. Like you bring up something very touchy. Maybe they've had a bad experience, or maybe their cousin's an agent. Now they're going to have to, well, what about my cousin? There's a multitude of things that would come up. And it was easier for me to just not be a licensed agent. I never have to have that conversation. I'm here to buy your house. I'm here to help you, not to list it. A lot of people I don't want to fix it. There's just this notion of what a real estate agent is that that hurdle kept coming up, and I wasn't good at it anyway. So I'm like, forget this real estate agent stuff. Let's get that out of there. So it worked out for me. And there's a lot of people who are investors who are agents, which is a great combo for them. But you definitely don't have to be a licensed agent. In fact, I could write a contract with you on this piece of paper right here. I don't even have to have a real contract. Like, buying and selling houses is pretty simple. It's amazingly simple, actually. Title companies kind of handle all the crazy stuff to make it legal and compliant. And an agent is a great facilitator. And if you're negotiating on a house you're going to live in yourself, and you do. There's a lot of investors that buy houses and don't get an inspection done on the house. I advise against that, especially in the beginning. There's so much, you know what I mean? There's so much hidden that like an expert can still miss stuff. How you, the new guy, or maybe you've done a few deals and you think you're an expert. I don't claim, 16 years I claim to not be an expert. I still leverage people who are better than me at any given subject. And so I'm not a real estate agent, and I love real estate agents.
I think that I find that that's one of the biggest mistakes that new investors do, is that they do not get it inspected. Mm-hmm. But that's just because there's very few inspectors that have deep construction experience like we do. And so they're actually right in what they're thinking, I believe, but because it's hard to find somebody
the right person
that actually that's been in the trenches with you.
Yeah, somebody,
and that's what we do. We've been in the trenches. We've done it. We've been a builder, so we can tell you, well, this is good, this is bad. Spend your money here, don't spend. But also, I find that with experienced investors, they kind of start thinking that it just they don't get inspections sometimes. And we got some that's been doing this for years, and they call us if they have something that bothers them.
Sure.
They're scared of, and we just come in. And actually, for for some of your people in your club, we're not even part of your club, and we go out there for nothing a lot of times just to help them. It's just a low-berry wall.
Sure. You're right.
Because what comes around goes around. I want good to go around.
Right.
But, we want to get into, after this next segment, I want to talk about how real estate investors have saved neighborhoods, because we've both witnessed this, and you've been part of this and what you're doing in the city. I think that I'd like to, if we could pick your brain a little bit more about that in the next segment. So let's make sure we jump into that. But before we come out of here, we're going to hit you a couple of times up on it. How do people find you? And then again, we're going to ask you at the end, but I want folks to know, because I know they're curious, how's the best way to catch you?
Yeah, I'm just a big Facebook fan. I just love that platform. Everybody's
spell your last name, because I know I can.
Sure. It's Licavoli. Forget about it. You don't know how to.
Yeah.
No, so it's Jason. Last name is Licav as in Victor, Oli. I've had to say that many times, so I get a lot of B's and Z's. So it's V like a Victor. So Licavoli.
Licavoli. And now, Jason, do you have a phone number? I know you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it out there. Let's do it. So it's 314-681-7700. I will tell you, don't call me, text me. I'm a texter. Yeah. My phone rings all day long. I just don't have time to answer it. But Facebook is the best way to get a hold of me. I love that platform. It's really great for marketing what I'm doing, but also just keeping people in touch. I got 4 kids, and I like to have fun, and so it's my place to have fun.
Well, we definitely will get this information at the very end also, but I just thought that people they're anxious now to find out more about how to reach you. Well, folks, thank you for listening to this segment of About the House. We will catch you on the other side. We got a whole bunch more questions. We're going to pick Jason's brain, and when you have questions about this, reach out on his page. And also, we're going to have all his information on our webpage and our Facebook page. So give us a call, and I know that we both would love to help you in any way. Welcome back, folks, to About the House. This is your humble host, Troy Galloway, owner of Galloway Building Services. We are the premier company for construction consulting, home inspections, building inspections, and construction inspections. You got a construction issue going on. You want to make sure that house is being done right, or that room addition, or whatever project's being done right, you give us a call. 636-394-3112. Oh, let's get on back here with our great guest here, Jason, today. And Jason, I do see a lot of homes out there that investors have gotten in, and I hate to use the word flip, because what they've really done is got into it and just totally rehabbed. So can I change the vocabulary a little bit? We'll call them rehabbers, or actually neighborhood savers.
There you go. We call it revitalize. We revitalize St. Louis. I'm actually on the board of directors for the nonprofit called Revitalize St. Louis, and I said, you guys got the best name. Like, that's what we do. Just never called it that, but I love that. Revitalize.
So yeah, and you guys say, I really see how investors have come in and saved neighborhoods.
Neighborhoods, yeah.
Because a lot of the folks really don't have the ability to know how to do it, and we see a great things happening in the city right now. Tell us about what your experience is with this.
It's amazing to me. So when I first started in this business, all I did was South City. I was learning the neighborhoods, learning the streets, because man, it's block by block on a lot of those neighborhoods. This block is great, that block's not as good, but go over 2, and it's just so blotchy. You got to really entrench yourself in the community. So I was really deep into it, and then, of course, that was BC. And then the crash happened, and I'm in survival mode, so I'm not really worried about community as much. But I'm back to that place where I see the effect, and I'm focused more on what good are we doing for the whole community, for the whole city of St. Louis. What's the effect? We raise taxes, right? So that vacant house that's sitting there, no taxes are getting paid. Insurance, it's a liability. You get the riffraff coming and going, all the negative things. Somebody comes in, they put their money into the property, which gives jobs for people that are doing the construction. So, I mean, the trickle-down effect is amazing. Plus the tax revenues. Now the schools have the money they need to be better educators for the kids. I mean, I'm not Superman. I don't wear a cape. But, like, my version of being awesome is, like, I do one house at a time. And then through this mechanism called real estate investing clubs, it's hundreds of houses. So I get to be part of hundreds of houses, which through that mechanism, and then with my other collaborative efforts with the other groups, as a whole, thousands of houses. Right? And so now neighborhoods start to shift. So I work out at NextCore, which I love NextCore. Just a little plug for them. But they're Fox Park, right? And Fox Park, just 3-5 years ago, was not a place you want to be. And now it's a sought-after neighborhood. They have a great neighborhood association that is growing and thriving and promoting more development in the area. There's some big projects going on. That one little pocket of St. Louis has changed so much. And I could say the same to Benton Park West, Tower Grove South. I mean, so many neighborhoods. They're already starting to get away with this Del Mar divide thing that we've had in St. Louis for a long, long time. I'm just excited to be part of that, even just play a little role. Right? It just connect a couple people and support some of the nonprofits and what they're doing. I just love to be part of the big picture. And when we say flipping STL, like that's our company name, we're flipping a house. But through that flipping a house, we're flipping a life, we're flipping the community, and then we're flipping St. Louis, the reputation. I take on how do we look across the country? Because I go to other cities, and I mean, our waterfront is just terrible. You go to other cities, like everybody wants to be on the river, and then we just don't do river. So we have a unique city. Everybody asks, like, where'd you go to high school? Because we're so compartmentalized. You know, it's like, what neighborhood did you grow up in? Which street? And so it's like, why can't we just all be St. Louis? You know?
When are your club meetings?
Yeah,
is that the right way of putting it?
Yeah, for sure. So we have an evening meeting. We're trying to get into some more daytime training type other breakout events. But for right now, we have a monthly meeting. So in the city, we meet on the first Wednesday of the month, and it's in the evening. We've bounced around a couple different locations. I think we're gonna stick at NextCore because I really like the community that they've built there. So the first Wednesday of the month, it's in the evening from 6:30 to 9:30. The meeting really goes from 7 to 8:30, and we do a lot of networking in the beginning and at the end. We give people enough time to get to know one another. And then Jefferson County, we meet on the fourth Wednesday of the month out in Imperial, and we meet at the Pastime Club over there. Same thing, 6:30 to 9:30. Typically 7 to 8:30 is the actual meat and potatoes, and then the rest is open networking.
So folks can reach out to you on your Facebook or text you, and then you'll give them the addresses of where they're at and other addresses of other clubs possibly in the area. So
yeah, the one out in St. Charles, the one in Westport, like we have all their information and their dates and times, and then every month there's a new subject matter.
So you're the to-go-to guy for everybody out there.
If you go to Flipping STL, the flippingstl.com or the Flipping STL page, we're kind of a resource for all of these things. And if there's something that you need or want, let me know. I want to provide as much value as I can.
That's Flipping USA?
It's Flipping STL.
Oh, Flipping STL.
Yes,
I'm writing it down myself.
There you go.
Yeah, awesome. So anyway, I thank you so much. And we're going to head out of here and head to the next segment. I thank you folks for listening to our show. And I just know there's so much here to catch up that I want you to check out the Facebook pages and web pages out there, because it's the only way you're going to get the full amount of information. And pester us. Give us a call, either Jason or myself, and we will put you. Hey, if we don't have the right answers, we know enough people out here, after all the years we've been doing this, that we could send you in the right direction. So make sure that you do that and give us and this is Troy Galloway. I am your humble host, and we will see you on the other side. Thank you so much for paying attention. We're very fortunate for Salem Broadcasting to allow us to have this presentation, and we're very lucky to have Jason here to guide us in the right direction how we can make money in real estate. Thank you, folks. See you in a bit. Welcome back, folks, to About the House. This is Troy Galloway, your humble host, owner of Galloway Building Services. I am really excited about this show. I was just talking to Jason at the break how much fun this is. But Jason, I hear all the time about how we can make tons of money, get rich quick. Well, I know there's a good money to be made. But tell us more about the making of the money. What we can expect.
There's a lot of money to be made in real estate investing. It is a lucrative industry. You can lose a lot of money too. So there's some risk, but there's a lot of reward. Unfortunately, it's not HGTV type of stuff.
That's probably good.
And then you get these out-of-state guys coming in and selling you on a $50,000 coaching program. And it's like, Lord have mercy. That is one of the main reasons why I started my club, is to protect people from that. You don't need to spend $100,000 on education. Go buy a freaking house. Go hook up with some people, buy a house, make some money. I've spent $100,000 on education in the last 16 years. No problem. Small chunks, very specific education that I thought would add value to what I'm doing. But so many people go, oh, if it's $50,000, it's got to be, I know I'm going to make a lot of money. And that's just not the case. So like through our member, when you become a member of our club, we give you all the documents and forms and all the discounts and all the preferential treatments, all the benefits for all the vendors and contractors. And so we make you more profitable. If you have no credit, no money, it's no problem. We have contacts for you. There's a thing called hard money, right? So, and the reason why it's called hard money, because the terms are very hard to deal with, right? Like it's hard to swallow at 12% interest rates. But I can show you on paper how through our benefits and perks of being a member, you can get that money for free. And then I can show you how you don't have to have credit and money. Without credit or money or income, you wouldn't be able to do that deal. So if you pop off a $20,000, rehab profit, you couldn't have done that unless you had those other pieces in place. And so no matter who you are, where you come from, I want to help you get to your goal. And everybody's goals are different. So some people want to make $1 million. Hey, that's a little longer of a road. But if you just need to make a quick couple bucks, make $5,000, take your wife on that trip, well, I can show you how to do that too.
Tell us about the Home Depot thing that you was talking about. That's pretty cool.
So, and Home Depot is just one of the perks, but it's one of the bigger ones that people have seen the biggest result from, I guess. So, if you're buying $10,000 worth of materials, we show you how through our club you're getting a 12% discount. Wow. Pretty much across the board, which is unheard of. Wow. We're $1 million account. So when you walk into Home Depot, now you're $1 million account. You get the leverage of that. They roll out the red carpet for us, right? So you save 12%. But then, a little trick in case the audience doesn't know this, Home Depot will match Menards. So when Menards does 11% cash store credit rebate, Home Depot does the same thing. So you can actually get 23% off. I'm not a mathematician. 23% off of your Home Depot purchases. I mean, if you spend $10,000, $20,000 on material, that could make a deal that wasn't a deal become a deal. And those are the perks that our members get to have.
Tell us real quick how to get a hold of you again.
Yeah, so flippingstl.com. So it's flippingstl.com.
Simple.
Or Flipping STL on Facebook. Also have the City REIA, so City REIA. Or Jeffco REI. So those are the two clubs. Mm-hmm. Flipping STL is kind of the parent company. My partner Patrick and I we're really promoting the clubs, but there's so much more that we give. So
all right, well, thank you. I want to give a shout out to our premier sponsor, J&H Property. They're real estate brokerage company. They're large enough to handle all of your real estate needs, but yet personal enough to attend to any of your questions and always be there. Also want to give real quick, I want to offer a free deck inspection for the 5th and 10th person. Check us out on our Galloway Building Services Facebook page. Leave a message. And for the 5th and to the 10th person that does that, you get a free deck inspection. Thanks, folks. Have a great day.